Good morning, children. Welcome to Nagabhairava Educational Institutions. And EPR, your physics lecturer. As a part of laws of motion, in the preceding classes, we finished some parts exclusively Newton's laws, force in different forms, and momentum. Of course, the rate of change of momentum, which is called impulse in the previous classes. Next part of this Newton's laws of motion, we are moving to another important topic in mechanics, in laws of motion, friction. Friction. Okay, before going to this chapter, my sincere advice to you is because of this unwanted pandemic situations, we are unable to run the actual classes. Classroom atmosphere is different, and by the motivation of our senior faculty members, no doubt will make you run, but unfortunately we are missing that session. Regular classes, mode of classes we are missing. We are available only on online. Hence you are you must be self disciplined, mind it. Why I am telling all these is I am delivering much content. Of course, within a couple of classes this chapter will be over, laws of motion, which is a major part of mechanics. That's why what I am advising to you is go through the content in your textbooks parallelly. That means if Newton's laws of motion were finished in the class, immediately you go through that content in the book so that you can learn permanently, perfectly. What is force? While doing problems also, be ready with pen and paper and solve them parallel to the classwork, so that it is a permanent memory. Don't take it casually, just sitting and going and looking into the cell. Be serious, because time does not return this, mind it. Mostly we will open very shortly as per the government official information. We are going to start our regular classes shortly. Then we will take care of you. Till now you are the judges of yourselves. What you are doing, what we finished today, but day by day you have to assess yourself only. Right, welcome. Today's concept is friction. Friction. A funny thing about this one, it is unwanted and at the same time it is very essential. Generally, regarding a particular thing we can say whether it is wanted or unwanted, but here it is mostly wanted, unwanted things. Let us come to the friction. What do you mean by this friction? Here the bottom one, it is a surface, and it is another surface. It may be a wooden block, metal plate. Just imagine it is placed over the surface of one surface. If we applied some force on this one, observe carefully, when we try to pull it, what observations we can draw? Number one, as we goes on increasing the force gradually, the tension, the sting goes on increasing, and at a particular stage, that means by a particular amount of applied force, this just begins to slide. Once if it is started motion, then need not apply this amount of force continuously. These are the observations done. Now the questions arise are, why instantly we have to apply more force? Later, why it is not necessary to apply that much of force? Which causes to stop this motion? For example, if this block is pushed with some velocity, it does not continue. As per Newton's laws, when a body is set into motion, it continues to move. But here when we push this one, after moving through certain distance, it comes to stop. which force causes to stop this body? These are the questions arise. If you observe this diagram carefully, even a nice edge which appears to our naked sight like this, under microscopic observations, under magnification form like this, if you observe carefully, we find these irregularities at the surface of this one. These are called irregularities. Irregularities. That means zigzag, in zigzag direction. Even it is our notebook. See, this is our notes. Actually, its surface appears smooth for our naked sight. If we observe it under microscopic conditions, it's very uneven. It's very uneven and it is very zigzag, these surfaces. When two such surfaces brought into contact, these irregularities will interlock with each other. Try to use the same vocabulary. These irregularities will interlock with each other so that they can arrest the motion of the body over another body. When we are trying to pull it towards our right side, some forces opposes the motion which comes into exist in the opposite direction like this. These are called frictional forces. These are called frictional forces. Hence, we can prepare a definition for the title of today. Friction. What is friction? Means it is a force, of course. What type of force this is? An opposing force that comes into exist to oppose the relative motion between two contacting bodies. That means if we keep one body on the surface of another body, when one body tries to move, means they are moving relatively, these forces comes into exist in the opposite direction to stop this motion. They are called opposing forces. Opposing forces. So, shall I repeat the once again the definition. What is frictional force? The forces that comes into exist when two bodies in contact with each other are moving relatively. Such forces are called frictional forces. Now, how many types of frictional forces are there? As per our discussion concerned, more amount of force is required to just start the motion of a body, whereas once it is started, that much amount of force is not required to continue the motion. So, now we are going to discuss different amounts of forces and what are the different types of forces, of course. Let us come to the first one. These are called static frictional forces. Static friction, simply static friction. Otherwise, this is also called limiting friction. Limiting friction. Let us see what do you mean by this one. It is a surface. It is a surface on which another body, say a wooden block, is placed, and here we are arranging a pulley. See, this is a pulley arranged to the edge. It is passed over this pulley to this a weight hanger is suspended. This is the position of the weight hanger. A weight hanger. So that we can change the amount of loads in this weight hanger. Imagine if I add 100 grams to this weight hanger, 100 grams. Definitely some tension we will notice in the string. It does not move. It does not move. If we add one more a disc of 100 gram, that means now it is increased to 200 gram. Now also it is not moving. At a particular stage, say for 300 grams in the weight hanger, just it tends to move. It tends to move. That's why here the force which is pulling this is called force. This friction, this force comes equal to the frictional forces which opposes the motion. Hence, it just begins to move. It just begins to move. Begins to move. Later what happened? Even we does not increase the load, once if it is started, it continues to move. Then the frictional forces that comes into exist, they are called kinetic frictional forces. Kinetic friction. Kinetic friction. So, the force required to just start the motion of a body over the surface of another body is called static friction, and the force required to continue the motion, this is called kinetic. The frictional forces that comes into exist, they are called kinetic friction. Now, we will try to get some conditions. Just we will consider the block diagram of this one. That means this is the block on surface of horizontal plane. Here this is applied force F. As per our discussion concerned, when this is pulled with a force F, opposing forces comes into exist, they are called static friction or limiting friction, Fs. Now let us take one by one. First, case number 1. What happened if F is equal to 0? F is equal to 0 means what you can say? When no external force acts on the body. When no external force acts on the body, F is equal to 0. What happened? The block will be at rest. It will be at rest, simply. It will be at rest. Simple. No force is applied. This is said to be at rest. Case 1. If we applied some external force, but that applied force is less than the limiting frictional force. That means F is applied, but it is less than what this is called static frictional force. What is static frictional force? The force comes into existence when a body just tends to move on the surface of another body is called static frictional force. Then when the applied force is less than static frictional force, then what happens? In the previous case it does not move, okay, this is at rest. In this case what happens? Same, it does not move, but it tends to move. It tends to move. Such motion is called impending motion. Technical word, it is impending. Impending motion means what? Any one of you, what do you mean by impending motion? Actually it is supposed to move, but originally it is not in motion. Such is called impending motion, is developed inside this one. That's why even we applied some force also, it does not move, and these frictional forces developed so called self-adjusting forces. Frictional forces are hence self-adjusting forces. Case 3. Now see this one. If applied force, so called external force, becomes equal to static frictional force, what happened? Case 1, no force is applied. Case 2, force is applied, but it is less than static frictional force. Number 3, external force applied is equal to static frictional force. Then what happened? According to the definition, when a force equal to static frictional force is applied, the body just begins to move. It just begins to move. And here one more interesting thing is there. It obeys one law also. That means this static frictional force, so called Fs, is directly proportional to N. Here I am introducing one more word. What is called N? N means normal reaction. Normal reaction. While explaining Newton's laws, number of times I repeat the word normal reaction. What do you mean by here? What is the normal reaction means? See, its weight, mg acts vertically downwards. This is action. As a reaction, equal amount of force is applied in the opposite direction. This is normal force. This is called a normal reaction. Fs proportional to N. If we introduce a constant here, this is called mu s N. Since N is nothing but mg, I can replace this one as see, I will write once again. What is this? Fs, static frictional force, is equal to mu s into mg. This is. Therefore, mu s is equal to Fs by n, which is nothing but Fs by mg. Fs by mg. So we can define the coefficient of friction. Here we introduce a constant now, which is called proportionality constant. Actually, that is nothing but coefficient of friction. Shall repeat once again. What is this? This is called coefficient of which friction? Static frictions. Coefficient of static friction. Okay. These are the cases. Once again, shall repeat this one. If we applied certain force, different cases we are going to discuss. As case 1, what I am doing is, what happened if no external force is applied? It is a simple thing. When no force is applied, the block will be at rest. Number 2, some force is applied, but this is less than the static friction force. When we applied some force, automatically the body is subjected to impending motion. Impending is a nice word. Try to use the textual language while present in the examinations. Impending forces means actually the body is supposed to move, but it is not moving. Practically it is not moving. When we are applying force, means ultimately it is subjected to force. This is case 2. As case 3, if this applied force is equal to the static frictional force, then what happened? The block just begins to slide, just begins to move. This is. In such cases, so-called the frictional forces are found to be directly proportional to the normal reaction. What do you mean by normal reaction? The action applied by the floor on the body in the vertical direction as a reaction minded. As action, what happened? This body mg acts downward, as normal reaction is in the opposite direction. Here F proportional to normal reaction. Here I am going to introduce a constant called mu s, which is called coefficient of static or coefficient of sliding or coefficient of limiting friction. And this n is equal to mg numerically. That's why I am making this as subject. Therefore, the coefficient of static friction is equal to Fs by n. By looking at the formula, I am in the reverse direction. Generally, after by hearting the definition, we are going to the formula, but it is easy technique. Once you mind this formula, you can design the definition of this one. Can you try yourself? Define coefficient of static friction. Define coefficient of static friction. Since divided by there, you have to start with the coefficient of static friction is defined as the ratio of frictional force to normal reaction. Static frictional force to normal reaction. Once again, the coefficient of static friction is defined as the ratio of static frictional force to the normal reaction. This is coefficient of static friction. Right. Now, in the next case, what I am considering is the minimum force to required to just move the block is defined as kinetic friction. My question is, what happened if the applied force is continued once the block is also just begins to move? What happens? That means if external force F is continued, what happens? That means here by quantity F is equal to Fs. Even after the block just begins to slide, if we applied the same force, what happened? The body continues to move. When a body continues to move, the frictional forces which comes into exist to oppose the motion of this block, they are called kinetic frictional forces. See the word in the previous case static, here it is kinetic frictional forces. It has one more name. This is also called dynamic friction. Dynamic frictional force. Since already the block is just moved and it continues to move by the application of the force F, what is the acceleration of this block here? What is the acceleration of this block here? It is nothing but, what is the applied force? It is capital F. When it is moving, which force comes into exist? Frictional force, kinetic frictional force divided by its mass. This is called net frictional force, capital F minus small f. What do you mean by this Fk? Fk, it is nothing but capital F minus mu k n divided by m. But this capital F is equal to frictional, static frictional force. That means we can write the above expression as Fs minus Fk by m, where Fs is nothing but mu s mg and Fk is nothing but mu k mg whole divided by m. If we take common the common terms, the acceleration of the body is given by mg, we can take common, then it becomes mu s minus mu k into g divided by m. This m gets cancelled, the net value is mu s minus mu k into g. This is acceleration of the body. It's a fantastic relation. Number of times it will come across our numerical part. So please keep this mind. What is the case? What is the situation? When static frictional force is applied and the body just begins to move also, and if the force is continued, what happened? The body, the block continues to move. In this case, kinetic frictional force comes into exist, and the acceleration of the body is given by, this is applied force minus frictional force which opposes. This is called a net force acting, but this F applied is equal to static frictional force. So we can write this one as Fs minus Fk. F is nothing but mu s mg, and this Fk is equal to mu k mg. By taking common and cancelling the similar terms, we get the net acceleration of the body as mu s minus mu k into g. Right? I think you understood the concept. Now I am moving to one more factor which is called rolling friction. Rolling friction. What do you mean by rolling friction? Rolling frictional force represented by Fr, F suffix R. Simply in its name only. In the previous cases, when a body is moving on the surface of another body, we observe how the opposing forces comes into exist. In this case, what happened if a body tries to roll on the surface of another body? For example, it is a horizontal surface. It is a horizontal surface. Here, imagine it is a circular body. It is a circular body. It may be a disc. It may be a football, spherical in shape. It is a ring like this. Here is the reason, the good reason explained. I am going to explain why all the automobile wheels are circular in shape only. The model of the cars may change from year to year, so many models, but no fool tries to change the circular shape of the wheel. Why? Because there is a strong reason behind it. Try to understand. When a body is trying to roll, for example, if we push a football on a horizontal ground, if we push, it begins to roll, but it never continues its motion. That means it does not move continuously. As explained in Newton's laws, when a body is at rest, it continues to be at rest. When a body is in motion, it continues to be in motion. Like that, when we kick a football, it begins to roll, but after rolling certain distance, it comes to start. My question is, what is the cause for the arresting the ball? That means which forces brings the rolling ball to rest? Here, the frictional forces between these two, the rolling body and the surface, they brings the body to rest. Okay, actually, for actual sake, geometrically there is only one point of contact is there, but as I said, under microscopic observation, practically what happens is here is a temporary deformation between these two surfaces. That means as appears it is not a point. If it is a single point, then frictional forces may not comes into existence because only one point is there. But here instead of this it appears to be flattened at this point. Okay, and very interesting thing I am going to give one more also. The road also flattens, the floor also flattens, but of course it is very minute which we cannot observe with our naked sight only. So it deforms temporarily, instantly it deforms. Hence there is a good what that is contacting surface between these two bodies. As a result, as it tries to move forward and some forces comes into exist which stops which tries to stop this motion, they are called frictional, rolling frictional forces. They are called rolling frictional forces. These rolling frictional forces are directly proportional to the normal reaction. Normal reaction as it is acting downward, weight mg, and here it acts vertically upward. This is normal reaction, and introducing a constant that is mu r. Now in this case mu r and n, where mu r is a constant called can you guess, any guessing? Coefficient of rolling friction. Coefficient of rolling friction. So therefore the coefficient of rolling friction can be defined as mu r is equal to Fr by n. This is the formula. Mu r is equal to Fr by n. Can you define in your own words what is coefficient of rolling friction? Comfortably. That's why I am telling number of times, don't try to by heart. It is a formula and which is associated with by, divided by. So start the definition with the ratio of, good, the ratio of which to which factor? The ratio of rolling frictional forces to normal reaction. See, I am trying to beautify the definition by using soft language, which is convenient language. See, the coefficient of rolling friction is defined as the ratio of rolling frictional forces to normal reaction. That's it, rolling frictional forces to normal reaction. And by observation, we have three types of frictional forces by name: Fs, Fs. What do you mean by Fs? Static frictional force. What is the next one? Fk. What do you mean by Fk? Kinetic frictional force. And finally, what we have? This is Fr. Can you establish a condition between these three items? Condition means which will be greater, which force will oppose the motion greatly, that is called more opposing force. Undoubtedly that is static frictional force. The force required to just move the body, that is called static frictional force. To overcome this static frictional force, once the body is started, the forces comes into existence are called kinetic frictional forces, which are comparatively lesser than the static frictional force. Almost these rolling frictional forces are negligible when compared to the other. That's why it's a relation between these three. Fs is greater than Fk, and which is greater than this Fr. Another important, and if I am not mistaken, it is previously asked in the board as well as in objective type questions also. So shall I summarize today's class? What factors, what items covered today? Number one, what is the friction? Frictional force comes into exist when two contacting bodies moving relative to each other, simply called the opposing forces that comes into exist when two contact surfaces try to move one above the other. How many types of frictional forces are there? Three: static frictional force, kinetic frictional force, rolling frictional forces. Static frictional force, define coefficient of static frictional force. Coefficient of static frictional force is defined as the ratio of static frictional force to normal reaction. Normal reaction. Next definition, define coefficient of kinetic friction. Coefficient of kinetic friction is defined as the ratio of kinetic frictional force to normal reaction. Finally, what is rolling frictional force? The coefficient of rolling friction is defined as the ratio of rolling frictional force to normal reaction. What is the relation between these three? Frictional force Fs is greater than Fk and this is greater than Fr. That's all.